If you guys have ever looked at a Python function and wondered, wait, what are these variables inside the parentheses? Or why are these numbers different when I call the function? You guys are not alone. Parameters versus arguments is something almost every beginner mixes up. Alright guys, at first, parameters and arguments, they sound like the same thing. They're both inside parentheses, they both look similar, and Python doesn't really warn you if you misunderstand them. So let me show you this code. Now in this code, what are A and B and what are 2 and 3? Let me break it down for you guys step by step. Now here, A and B, they're called parameters. Um, Let me explain to you guys very simple and give you like a real life example. Now, parameters, they're placeholders. They are names you define when creating the function. All right, guys. So parameters, they don't have values yet. Now, let me give you a real life example. Think of parameters as empty boxes waiting to be filled. All right, guys. Now I'm going to be explaining to you guys what are arguments. So these were parameters. Now arguments are these, whatever is inside, like inside of the, like when we call the function inside of the parentheses. So now basically, arguments, they are actual values. They are passed when calling the function, and they get assigned to the parameters. So A gets 2 and B gets 3. Now here's a very quick tip, like to actually like avoid the confusion. Parameters, they don't have values, but arguments, they have values. So that's the most biggest difference between both of them. Now, now let me give you like a visual mental model, something like that. So basically, parameters, they live inside the function, and arguments, they live outside the function. Now, parameters, they are like labels. Arguments are what you stick on the labels. So let me show you guys another example. Let me just remove this code real quick. All right, guys, so define, greet, name, return, hello, and then plus name. Then I'll write greet Alex. Now here, let me explain to you guys step by step. So the name here is the parameter because, yeah, it doesn't have a value, but then the X, we gave it a value. So it's an argument. Alex, I mean, my bad. Now here's a common beginner mistake. Now let me write another code here. So define multiply X and Y, and then obviously colon, multiply X and Y, then return X times Y. Return X times Y, and then I'll write multiply 5. Now Python throws an error here, not because the function is broken, but actually because one argument is missing. Now, keyline is the number of arguments must match the number of parameters here. So basically, here the x is equal to 5. Like in this case, the parameter x has the value of 5 and the parameter y has no value. That's why the Python is throwing us an error. So to fix this, we'll just write comma 6. Now let's run the code. And yeah, well, it will not end up giving us an error, as you can see. Now let me give you guys a quick recap. So parameters, they are variables in the function definition, and arguments, they are actual values you pass. Now, if parameters and arguments ever confuse you, that's completely normal. Once you see them as placeholders versus values, it gets much easier. If this video helped, please make sure to like, share, and subscribe, and I'll keep breaking down Python basics like this. And yeah, guys, have a nice day. Bye.